Hey everybody, welcome back to another Mysidia Gaming video. Today we're going to talk about the big patch that's coming tonight for War of the Visions. It's the FFT collaboration banner, which everyone's been excited for, and there's just so much more coming with it than we were expecting, and I can't wait for it to start, so had to make this video, so let's get into it. Alright, so moving into the notices, we have a ton of stuff that's coming up right now, and it's really exciting to look at it all. We're going to start with the FFT stuff because that's the most exciting. So there's going to be new units, which we all know about. Ramza, Orlando, Gafgarian are joining the fray. Gafgarian is the MR free unit that we get, but he is very strong UR quality, so definitely a really good free unit to get into max. You definitely want to collect his shards during this event because you won't be able to get them until the next FFT event, which brings us to an important point now, because we're looking in the future in Japan. We see that FFT will return and you will get more chances to develop these units, so you don't have to go ham on spending money or Visior that you've earned, and you can kind of go a little bit easier if you want. So with Gafgarian though, it's easy to collect his shards, so definitely get all his shards. You don't even have to spend them right away, just have them so that when you are ready to develop him, he's there. And then otherwise Ramza and Orlando are our URs, and Orlando's definitely the chase unit for this set because of how versatile he can be. There's also a chase vision card, which is incredible because it gives your entire party it gives them agility up, and then the bestowed effect for the user is slashing damage, so obviously works on quite a few different types of units. So we'll look at Ramza first. So Ramza is main job Squire, sub job Spellblade, which I've heard is quite good, and then sub job Ninja, which is always great because it gives you a bunch of mobility and agility, so that's all really good. His limit burst Ultima is guaranteed hit. It does non-elemental damage, which is good or bad depending on if you want to chain it, and it's got some range, so it looks pretty neat as well. He has triple blow, which means he can chain just like Shadow Links, so that's going to be a 2-hit chain with a light element, so you'll get the elemental chain and the physical chain for whatever sort of quests you need to fulfill. He also gets Shout, which will be another way for us to increase bravery, which is very exciting, although bravery is pretty easy to increase right now. Then we have Orlando, who is just a beast. He's a damage dealer that also has a bunch of HP and ranged attacks, and he's a slasher. He's just got everything that you need, and that's why people are so high on him, because of how versatile he is and how much he can do on his own. And he's got main job Sword Saint, sub job Samurai, and sub job Knight, so definitely some good skills there. His LB is Swordplay Thunder God, and it deals bunch of damage and gives himself haste. It's crazy. So it also it does some AoE effect, which is really nice. And then otherwise he gets these ranged abilities like Divine Ruination and Crush Weapon, and that's just huge to be able to have these. A guy that when he's on his way in to start swinging, he can hit them on the way in with his ranged attacks, so that's great. And then we have Gafgarian, job Fell Knight, sub job Warrior, sub job Monk, which are both again good sub jobs. There's going to be a lot of power up there, a lot of strength increase for him. So he has Abyssal Blade, which consumes his own HP to deal damage to targets within range. So again, a ranged attack. So if he's moving in, he's going to be able to hit people on the way in, which is really nice. And then he also has Deception, so which is very flavorful for him. So he boosts his own Man-Eater for 3 turns, which is great for your basically most of your story quests, and then also PvP as well. So you're going to get Gafgarian for free, of course. And then we have our UR vision card, slash attack up for the bestowed effect, and then party attack agility up. It's really good. If you get that, you can be super happy. There's people that aren't even chasing the units, they just want this vision card. So otherwise, we've got quests that are going to come along with this. The quests are going to be important because they're going to have a ton of missions and rewards for completing them. There's going to be hard quests. There's going to be a bingo board for us to do, a whole bunch of stuff. So this is all super important. It's going to be your main way of getting Gafgarian unit shards as well as the FFT event medals. And if you played the Final Fantasy 14 banner, then you know that these event medals are pretty unreal because you can buy a lot of awakening stuff with them, and you can also get some unit shards for the characters that you pull, among other things. So they're definitely very valuable, and the missions in Final Fantasy 14 gave a lot of these shards, so we'll hopefully see that again, and then we can make a video about prioritizing what to buy in the shop. Otherwise, you can take on the quest and get all the job supplies that you'll need for these guys for their exclusive jobs, which is important. You can probably buy those in the shop as well. And then otherwise, yeah, we've got our bingo board, and we've got a metal exchange shop for this currency. So that's all well and good. So it says the shop's actually going to have unit shards for Gafgarian and Ramza. It doesn't actually mention Sid, which is kind of interesting, but we'll see what happens, because that would really suck if you can't get his shards in there. And then otherwise, we have a bunch of stuff coming up during this event. We're going to talk a little bit about the summons. So there's going to be a daily purchase bonus that will give a bunch of Ramza shards. We're going to get some of those paid banners that will be guaranteed URs. We're also going to get 10 days of 10 times summons that will have an MR guaranteed. So that's 100 pulls over 10 days. It's pretty amazing. And then we'll also have some summons specifically for our UR units that give their own currencies. So there's going to be a banner that will have a higher chance for Orlando, and his banner will give you A-type FFT summon medals that can be spent on his shards and other things. And then there's a banner that prioritizes Ramza that will give you the B-type, and if you actually pull 10 times on the Ramza banner, you will get 1,000 medals, and you can purchase Ramza if you haven't pulled them by then with those medals, which is huge. You can also pull any other UR card or unit in these banners, including the other person, so Orlando and Ramza. But if you were going hard for Orlando, you don't want to pull him in the Ramza banner, because I think that the Orlando banner shop will be more suited towards Orlando, at least I would assume so. So otherwise, here's our free 10 times summon every day for 10 days. It's amazing. Even if you just get MRs, that's really good, because you're probably needing some of those Azure orbs anyway, and this is going to be a good way of getting some. So for the Orlando summon here, it's really just pretty straightforward. It's a 2k summon, and you have a chance of getting Orlando and the Euro card. They have different rates, and then the same thing with the Ramza one. But what's really important here, so in the shops there's going to be stuff like Rainbow Vision Spheres and Rainbow Fragments of Thought, but in the Ramza shop, we're going to go down here. This is all pretty straightforward. It says you can actually buy Ramza for exchanging 1,000 summon medals, which is 10 pull. So if you have 20k Visior, or you're going to get 20k Visior during this event, which you should, because we're about to talk about why, then you can for sure get Ramza, which is really nice. With this event, you can probably limit break 3 Ramza without too much Visior, with all the rewards and stuff, and that would be pretty nice to do, because you know that Ramza is coming back again in another FFT banner in the future, another event, so you can kind of go halfway if you want, which is quite nice. So otherwise, there's going to be a daily purchase bonus, and you only need to purchase 60 Visior on 5 different days to get all these rewards. And Rainbow Vision shards, obviously huge, but all the Ramza shards are super, super important as well. And then otherwise, we've got all of our event medals and currency and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to have 3 different login reward systems during this time. We're going to have our 3 million downloads. We're going to have our FFT login rewards, and we're going to have our April login rewards. So you're going to get a lot of Visior. You're going to get a featured summon for this 3 mil downloads. You're going to get a shop again, which is really great, because that usually has some pretty nice daily purchases with gold items and some one-time purchases with gold. And then you're also going to get a featured unit shop, which is okay if you own those UR units. So we're going to talk about that in just a second here. And we're also going to get some quests as well. So we'll go through this quickly. Here's our login bonus for 3 million downloads, and you're going to get a ton of Visior here. This is actually 2,500 Visior that you can count on in 5 days, and you're also going to get a bunch of other stuff in that shop, right? So it's all going to cost gold. The featured summon is Eileen and Ziza, and they're going to have their own shop. They're going to have their own summon medals as well. So if you already have these units, then this is really nice. Or if for some reason you really wanted these units, then it's great to have them on a banner. Although I don't know if this is the right time to be pulling for them. Eileen is pretty cool, but she's pretty slow. That's the biggest drawback with her, although she's very, very powerful. And then otherwise you have the featured shop, which is going to have those materials for those two, and then the 3 million download shop, which is going to have free XP cubes every single day, which is really nice for all of those units we're going to be pulling and leveling up. So otherwise, we're going to have a quest every day, and the quest is going to give rainbow vision spheres and awakening prisms. That's huge. And we're also going to have a new normal summon that will have the same stuff that it usually does. Otherwise, we're going to have a high difficulty secret book reward quest coming. That is very, very important, and it's going to have milestones, which is super relevant. So these books are awesome to stockpile. You're going to want to do this as much as you're able to, and the milestones will obviously be a priority. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. We're going to get a new paid Visior job crystal. Now, I don't think it's that necessary. The JP acquisition is not really necessary. The 20% AP acquisition is tough to think about. If you get 10 AP on a swing of your sword, that means you're getting 2 extra AP if you have this equipped, which actually doesn't sound like very much. So it's not as good as it looks, because you get JP so much anyway, and then the 20% AP gain isn't that great. The JP reward quest that we just had, this is amazing. You can do this once a day and just get 500. So think about which 5 units you want to bring into this battle to get the 500 JP for each of them. And then otherwise there's going to be an exclusive pack for this for those whales out there, and it's a really nice one. It's the 5,000 paid Visior, so for me that's $109.99 Canadian dollars, but you get 2 rainbow fragments and 5 rainbow vision spheres, so it's a really good deal. I'm not going to buy this because I'm more of a minnow myself, but this is obviously a pretty cool deal, especially for those of you that have already bought through all those first time bonuses where they match your paid Visior with free Visior. This is a nice little bonus for them to throw in for those people. So really what we're going to have here is the FFT event, but there's going to be a bunch of really cool other stuff going on all at the same time. And the most important thing that you have to do is make sure that you have a little checklist or something, because you don't want to go on to another day and then realize I forgot to do my 3 mil download quest. I forgot to do my job experience. I haven't worked on my milestones yet. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be all at once, but just make sure you do the daily stuff at the beginning and then move on into the milestone quests and all that kind of stuff later, and you're going to be just fine. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for coming by, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MassidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Massidians.